everyone doing today?
Good.
Everyone having a good morning? Excited for the weekend?
Yes.
Me too. Well, today is our first day of our relationship unit. We're going to be talking about friendships. And just to start off kind of the discussion, why are friendships so important? You have somebody to talk to. So you have someone to talk to. That's true.
Someone to do fun things with.
Someone to do fun things with.
Are you not alone?
So you're not alone. That's very true. Because imagine like not having someone to talk to, not interacting with other people, even acquaintances. Do you sometimes think of acquaintances as like distant friendships? So we're going to start off class with a worksheet, so you can pass this around. And what I want you to do is think of a close friend of yours. Try not to think of a relative. And then I want you to fill out the worksheet. There's extras, you can just pass them to me. There's also, on the back, there's a list of characteristics if you need some help. Thank you. When you're done, you can just put your pencil down. And you can think of some, if you can think of some of your own characteristics, that's good too. You don't have to use all the ones on the back. Oh, really? Sorry. If you don't get all 10 too, we'll just, that's alright. I'll give like another 30 seconds. Almost done. Okay, so everyone was able to think of a friend, yeah. And would anyone like to share like how, when, and where you met a friend? Could I have a few people? Molly, can you explain like how, when, and where you met this friend? You don't have to say their name either.
Okay, well, her name is Veronica, I'll tell you. I met her in kindergarten. We've been best friends since kindergarten. She was in my classroom. So that's how and where. You want me to tell you characteristics?
No, that's okay. But that's So you met her when you were younger,
Yeah.
and do you think you just kind of like were playing together and met,
Yeah,
or?
and we lived near each other. And I don't know. We just been best friends.
Yeah.
Kindergarten.
Very cool. Does anyone have a different situation, like maybe when they were a little older? Yeah, Todd.
My friend, not my best friend, I knew of him, but we weren't really that close. But he lived near me, so one day on like the school bus, actually, we just like started talking, and ever since then, I guess it just.
Yeah. So and was that what? How old were you?
I was in 6th grade.
You were in 6th grade,
First
so
year of middle
quite a bit older than when Molly's. And you said you knew him for a while, and then
Yeah. Just didn't really talk as much, but
that's funny that you met like a little later on, even
Yeah.
after you had known each other. Anyone else? Brooke?
I met my friend when I think I was in 7th grade, or like a little, in like the transition,
Yeah.
6th to 7th. In town, I like needed a ride home, and I was like alone, and he picked me up, and then we were friends after that.
Cool. So, did anyone go to school with the same people throughout like all of like elementary and middle school, or did you have like transitions where both came in?
I went to the same school
The same
whole time.
I moved.
Moved,
Fifth grade.
so you had to make new friends once you moved.
Yeah.
That's tough. And so now let's talk a little bit about the characteristics of these friends. What are some of the characteristics that you wrote down that makes a good friend? Yeah. Loyal. All right. Yeah, that's a very quality. Yeah, Matt.
We're trustworthy.
Trustworthy. So you're able to like share things with them, and like, do you think that has to do with like having each other's backs? That's like one of the things I have written down actually, is being able to like feel safe with that person. Were you gonna say something?
just similar interests.
Similar interests, right? So like probably a lot of you, when you were saying you were like playing and like met, you probably were doing something that you both like to do, right? Anything else? Anyone else? Other characteristics?
We're honest.
Honest. Did anyone have like funny written down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know like that's a big one for me, like having like the same humor, and sometimes anyone have down like attractive? You do? Like you're like attracted to like their look, or
Well, I was just thinking of this specific friend,
oh right, yeah,
but
that's true.
I just thought like the quality that he had.
Yeah, and sometimes too when Todd brought up hobbies, when we tend to like wear the same things, don't you think sometimes that can attract us to different people? Like sometimes if you're an athlete and you see another person wearing like a jersey or something, and you know of that team, you can like relate to them. Very true. And what about, so some of these qualities we talked about making good friends, how about like a bad friend? So a liar? Yeah, so not being honest. And that would make them not trustworthy as well. Any others? Disrespectful. So this could be in what type? Disrespectful in friendships and romantic relationships too. And those would be different ways, I'm sure. Any others for a bad friend?
Self-centered.
Self-centered. So in a friendship, there's kind of a give and take, right? You need to give a little so that they will give a little to maintain that friendship. How about, so we talked about like how old you were when you met these people, and where and how did you meet? So how did you start? Anyone remember the beginning of their conversation with this friend?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
this person, like the first day of college, we were getting our physicals done, and the first thing that like he said to me was he never heard someone talk the way I talk. That just stuck in my mind.
So like kind of your like that difference was a good conversation starter.
Yeah.
Anyone else have a good one? Have a one that's something that's stuck in their memory? I have a funny story. I came to freshman orientation. It was my first day of freshman orientation. I was in this room. And I was sitting right where Todd was sitting. I was sitting next to Will Carter. And I looked at, and some of you, if you don't know Will Carter, he's a health and physical education major. And I looked at him and I was like, oh, are you a double major? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, we're going to be best friends. And he had no idea what to say. But it was just the fact, and then he started laughing, so it was just the fact that we were able to, we had something to relate to, and then kind of made a joke about it. And then we started talking after that. But, so now we're going to actually do an activity where we're going to be initiating conversations. So, I'll hand these out. So, I'll have you two be partners. Can you pass one over to Todd and Molly, please? So, Todd and Molly, you'll be partners. Matt. And then you guys will be and you don't need to flip it over. The back isn't really relevant. So what we're going to do is we're going to make initiating conversation skits. And they don't have to be 15 to 20 lines long. I would just say 10 to 15 lines would be great. So if you want to take your pen and cross that off, just write 10 to 15 lines. And so before we begin, we're just going to talk a little bit about, because you need to use 2 skills in this. And then we're going to write out, like we just did in our worksheet, we're going to write out what age, and you pick the environment that you're going to be in. So what are 2 skills when you, like we just talked about, I said that I asked a question. So we're going to be working on communication, and then also our listening skills. And I want you to also think about the gestures you're using when you're talking to people and your body language. Okay? So get in your part, so start talking. So you need to think out what age, it says it on the sheet, what age and what type of environment you're in, and then 10 to 15 lines. So be creative with this. You know, think of well, like, if you don't want to say 17, in school, like, in the classroom, if you were younger, you could also do, like,
So we'll be like on the same thing. Yes, we can say.
just want to make sure, too, that these are appropriate and respectful.
We're on the same team.
No, you did go to kindergarten for half a day.
I had that time.
We had preschool.
What sport are you playing? What are you guys working on? You're 10, you're on the playground?
Yes.
What are you playing? Monkey bars is good.
Thanks.
Do you think you're going to start off with like your questions or comment? Comment? I can like we know each other.
Do you usually play basketball?
Well, do you think that maybe like at this age, do you think kids would like even ask questions? Or do you think they're more likely to like say something? They're more assertive to say something.
No, this is my first time.
I'll say it nicely.
You're age 5. No one's done age 5.
I'll do it. My friend told me that.
surf shop.
how they said they probably wouldn't start off
What do you mean
with
partners?
a question.
What?
You think
What do
that's
you mean
true?
partner?
Start off with a question.
Yeah.
Practice.
Oh,
Thanks.
Because
Probably a
then
comment.
probably a comment, right?
You can
Yeah.
say, like,
Your what? That's what
I guess that you could just say that. Like, I was thinking about trying out.
That's true. It's great. I can be really short.
Yeah, exactly.
You could say, are you
Well, it
thinking
sounds
about
good.
trying out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Make sure to think about too, like your body language, how you're gonna be like standing next to each other, if you're gonna be moving.
Yeah.
Mrs. Whitney,
Yes.
are we acting this out?
What?
Are we acting this out?
We're going to be acting this out. Yes. That's why I wanted you to think about the body language. Good question. Bob.
We'll just say,
Yeah, I guess you do.
Actually,
I'll just talk to you like this.
We could be standing by the monkey bars.
That was that bad.
One monkey bars for
After.
maybe 1 10 minutes.
I figured that would eventually be live. I feel like we need to shave some time.
Hey, what do you like practice? Want to get some ice cream?
And so you're not like going
Yeah,
to
monkey.
be on the monkey first.
Yeah, we said we should stand like this. Just don't feel bad.
That's creative.
That's good.
Okay, if I remember what I said,
And that's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Just
I
like
said
reach
you
your
hit that.
shoulders.
Yeah, definitely.
I always, whenever I went on monkey bars after the 8th grade, I would just stand
I figured I would just
up,
say
stand up and I'd be like,
I didn't have that luxury.
I had a lot of blisters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go home.
Literally.
Yo, but so, wanna go to Carvalho?
How are they? How are the conversations coming? I know. Really take into account too, like your gender. Do you think that plays a role?
This is ice cream and my mom. 2, 3, 4, 5. But we have 4 ones.
And once you're finished, you can kind of
We're playing with it.
try to like read out your conversation with your partner, and so you're ready when you come up.
Okay, yeah.
Let me write my stuff down here.
And you're allowed to bring up your paper with you to memorize it.
but yeah, so yeah, let's do monkey bars again.
How many people are almost done or done? You're done? You guys finished? Okay. We'll give them a minute or two more.
Nice.
We have some really good different conversations going on. Some people are creative. Getting creative.
Cool.
Is everyone all set?
The monkey bars in the beginning?
Yeah, you're gonna see one of them again.
Yeah. You want to win the conversation competition.
Is everyone all set? Okay. Well, would anyone like to volunteer to go first? Anyone?
You can do it.
You can?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for
great that was.
volunteering.
Welcome.
So you can just stand up here in front of the class. And then we're gonna discuss a little bit after they're all set.
Hey, we're on the same basketball team. What's your name?
My name's Todd. What's yours?
My name is Molly. Do you play basketball here a lot?
No, this is my first time here.
Oh, cool. Me too. Do you want to be partners for practice today?
Yeah, sure. It sounds great.
All right. We'll go be partners.
Wow, that was
fun. So want to get some ice cream with me and my mom?
Yeah, it's awesome. I would
Cool.
love to do that.
Let's go.
All right. Wait, can you just stand up there for a second? We're just gonna ask you a few questions.
We were 10 years old.
You're 10. Oh yeah. Thank you for stating your age. Okay, so what did everyone? So they started out with a question, right? Did you start with a question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think for age 10, is that like normal to have to first ask a question? It's a good way to start a conversation. I mean, you immediately had something in common, which is basketball. And how are they standing?
Far away.
Kind of far away.
Kind of like awkward.
Why do you think that?
Nervous?
Nervous? Anything
We
else?
don't really know each other, so we're not going to be all interested.
Yeah. They both actually were pretty clear with their questions. I mean, they were able to create the conversation, but they were also both like pretty basic questions, which sometimes that can be easier, to start up a conversation in that type of situation. So that was really good. Nice job. Anyone else volunteer?
We'll go.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like your shirt.
Thanks, my mom got it for me.
It's colorful. Purple, my favorite color.
Yeah, purple's my favorite color too.
I'm hungry.
Well, I do have some Oreos in my lunch. You can share if you want.
Sure.
Okay, here you go.
Thanks. Now we're best friends.
Yeah.
Nice job. Let's guess their age. Can anyone guess their age?
I'm gonna guess they're about 5.
When I was walking around, I think that was like everyone else was like 10 and up, and then they're like, we're gonna be 5, and I was like, that's kind of a cool concept because normally you don't really see a lot of like conversations between young kids like becoming friends. It's just kind of like they are friends automatically or something. So, and what about their body language? Like Brooke had her hands behind her back. What do you think that means? Shy? Do you think if you have your hands out or down, it makes a difference when you're first meeting somebody? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's kind of more of an open, you're like being more open to that person rather than like closed or like having your hands in front of you like this. Did you find it hard to create a conversation between young?
No, it wasn't difficult. It was just like, I was just saying like, it's kind of hard to remember what conversations look like.
Right. It was a different take on it. It was a different take on it for sure. That was a really good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, your name is Maddie, right?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm Molly. My friend told me that you're on the softball team, right?
Yeah, I am. Are you thinking about trying out?
Yeah, I actually am, but I'm a little nervous because I don't know anyone on the team.
Don't be nervous. They're all really nice.
That makes me feel a lot better.
Actually, we're all gonna go to pizza after school. Do you want to come with me?
Yeah, that'd be
Pizza with them?
great. I'd love to. Thanks.
Want to meet me by the front door of the school around like 3?
Yeah, can't wait. See you there.
Nice job. That was interesting because you're the only group that, so far that's like tried to like actually meet up outside of your like first conversation. And two, like you had that mutual interest of like softball and stuff. And were you 6th, 7th grade?
Yeah, I think so.
6th, 7th grade?
Around there.
So that's like around our age, right? Yeah, around our age. So, don't you think that when you're in these types of situations, you can make that effort to like invite that person, see them again, maybe if you make a connection? Because because that's true. Like sports are a great way to do that, and even if you invite that person to come into a group setting, it makes it so things aren't as awkward, but you can still get to know them. It's a really nice job. Matt and Alex, last one. Save the best for last.
I'm just gonna tell you now, I'm on the monkey bars, so,
We'll both on the monkey
so
bars.
I don't look weird just hanging out. Hey, I really like your shoes.
Thanks, I like your watch.
What class are you in?
Mr. Johnson's, whose are you?
I'm in Mrs. Smith.
Cool, were you gonna go on the monkey bars again?
Yeah, do you wanna play?
Sure, let's go to the slide next.
Okay, you can go first.
Thanks.
That was funny. Very creative. Again, they actually used compliments, which is like, I like your watch. That was a good one. And that also shows that you're interested in someone else, right? Like he showed an interest in something that she likes. And then they asked if they were going to play. So they made like another time to hang out. So really, that was a good job. And this is so funny. So you can sit back down. It's fine. So these type of conversations, even though they're different ages, come up, I'm sure, all the time in your classes. Like when you're sitting next to someone you don't know, it's kind of easy to just ignore the fact that you're next to someone, but maybe getting to know them by asking a question, maybe saying a compliment, is a great way to start up a conversation, and that's true for both romantic relationships and friendships, right? So we're just going to talk a little bit about that because that's going to be our next lesson, is looking at friendships and looking at romantic relationships and how they're different. So do you think that you need to be friends with someone before you have a romantic relationship with them? No? You think, and like you could just start a conversation and have a mutual attraction and then
It can happen.
it can happen?
Like it helps to be friends first then.
Yeah.
You think it helps to be friends? Why do you think that?
Then you have like common grounds and like, I don't know, you're already comfortable with each other.
Do you think that it helps to like know, you know how we went through that first worksheet and we wrote down the characteristics? Do you think it helps to like know those characteristics first? It can really benefit it, but also you don't necessarily have to. And do you think the skills of communication and listening are important when starting conversations with someone that you're maybe attracted to or just someone you want to be friends with? They are important, and especially the listening part. I don't think we emphasize that as much because it's kind of seen as, okay, we're going to start it, but you got to kind of take in what that person's saying so that you can give a response. So really good job today, and I'm going to pass out, just take one of these. This is just a take-home. It's not a worksheet or anything. It's just meet and greet worksheet, or meet and greet like handout. So really good job today, and we'll keep going with our next lesson will be on romantic relationships.